Go with it anyway. Hi, Babette. I'm really excited today. We have Babette Bischoff, who runs a brilliant architect interior business. And I think what I'm really excited about sharing with our community is ways in which we can update our space that we're spending a lot more time in today. So hi, Babette. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Louise. Hi, good morning, or good afternoon, actually. I'm so keen to be. Can I just say that this is my first Instagram Live, just, word of warning, but I'm super excited that I'm going to be sharing it with you, that you're interviewing me. Really
that's so cool. And I think your face is like beaming through. So I think you're born to be on Instagram Live. So you're absolutely born to be on there with your yellow roses. And I think it's just a joy to see your face, and what a miss for people if they didn't get to see you to inspire them.
Thank you.
So thank you to you and to Instagram Live for the combination of the two. So today what we're doing is I just wanted to ask about a few questions because I think interiors is a really interesting time for our homes, our home space, how it's evolving. For many of us, we have actually worked from home for a long time, but it's a very different combination when you have others and you have partners and working from home at the same time. So Babette, could you just share a little bit with our community about what you do, your background? I know how amazing it is, how you've evolved it to what you're doing now, and I know it's constantly kind of evolving.
So I'm actually a fully trained architect. I studied in London and I worked in various offices, different sizes, and gained, I think, quite good experience throughout building, large scale offices. And then I went to a smaller office and we did all the international flagship stores for French, really luxe fashion brand. And then I went back to a medium office. We did some further, high-end luxury offices. Did some other grand design within London and the UK. And then eventually I had my first son and went back to work after a year and to the same office, and they were really, really nice, really supportive. But I realized that I struggled a little bit, I had to say, with the, first trying to be the amazing mom and then being part-time job and the rushing and working. I really struggled in the end, but also because we were trying to have another baby, and that kind of got a bit of a wobble as well. Eventually we had our second son and became full-time mom and stepped away from the official working world. But did some private jobs. I did some small jobs for my family, for friends, small flat refurbishments or interior setups of rooms. And eventually, about 3 years ago, I started thinking, okay, I should do this officially again, and founded my company, Babette Bischoff London. And here I am now. Again, over the last 2 years, I helped family, friends, basically family homeowners rediscover their space or make the most of the space, or help, creating their vision and dreams. But for me, I think the key thing which I've taken through my architectural career, through being a full-time mom, having juggling this, from day one, school runs, the whole is, I think for me, the importance taking on is the combination of you're in your home, you have a vision, you have a dream of how your home you should look at, but also for me, it's very important that it actually works on a functional basis. It should really support your everyday needs, routines, and also, your for yourself. This is one thing I realized lacking over the years is, particularly as a mom, you run around, you do everything for everybody else, and the me time really came short. So it's this bringing this back, bringing this better, and any space can work for you. That's my really key incentive time. I think you can always find something beauty in a space, or create something which you haven't seen beyond. So what I want to try to bring really is interesting to rediscover what you have, because particularly in this moment of time, where I realized that a lot of people, the dreams have gone out, they wanted to buy their home, they wanted to move on, and things just stagnated for obvious reasons. But also taking a different perspective. So while going back to the coronavirus, what I realized during the first lockdown was that I was saying, walking around in our house, I realized, God, my husband enjoys this little balcony, he has this little, my kids are in their room, we have all these spaces, but where do I come in? But also literally going through my house thinking, oh, I was sat down in this particular room in that way, and by literally doing one thing, and this is really the trigger, I turned around one of our chairs in our living room space and sat down and enjoyed the glorious view, which I always took for granted, from a completely different perspective. Literally just turning around my office, my one of my lounge chairs, 180 degrees, and enjoying the peace and quiet to myself with my cup of tea. And I think this was really one of the sparkling moments where I realized, okay, I've got to have to take this a completely different approach. You don't have to have the expensive, full-on interior design package, spending thousands of thousands, when you can take a step back and take, you know, a good interior designer, somebody like me, coming in and saying, right, let's see, there must be something we can change in a really, really easy way. And I've had the same experience with a friend of mine. She used me before. I've done their kids' bedrooms. I've got the living kitchen space. So that was quite a major project. But she called me back, and also a friend of her called me back, and she said, listen, I'm really struggling. Sorry if I'm babbling on. I hope that's okay. She said, oh God, basically, we have this issue now. Second lockdown, gotta have to work with my husband in the same workspace, and what do? They have this really lovely study, I have to say, this grand window, and she ordered a new desk, and they've already got this amazing shelf system going, but you literally walk into the entrance area and there's a study, and she said, you know, it's really stressing me. I walk into the space, the kids show everything around, and then there's a study space, we want to read it. So cut a long story short, I had basically went to her house. I spent an hour, and I said, okay, right, there's not much you need to do. You buy an extra desk element to your existing shelf unit, return the desk, saved her, I don't know how many £100 she wanted to spend on a desk. You get rid of the desk you're standing in front of the window. You've got to have to use that beautiful light you get, the beautiful view into your garden. I can't believe you don't sit and enjoy your garden in your study. That is a pure luxury to have. And then in your entrance area, you're just going to start off buying a beautiful, you know, Scandi style, which is the style they love, you know, wardrobe, and which will already kind of semi-cover the view into the area, create this kind of indirect entrance area, and see how it goes. So that was it. And she said, Babette, I can't believe it. You just saved me a fortune and solved the problem. Now, it hasn't quite solved the problem with her being in the same space as her husband while working, but that's a personal matter.
There's far different reasons to solve other.
Exactly.
But
This is where I'm coming from. Sorry.
I think that's so brilliant, because what it sort of says is, Babette, it's a combination, isn't it? Our homes are a perfect example of, probably for a lot of us, missing the things that are often just on our doorstep. And it's the same can be with life, really, is you'll see something so regularly, but often you can't see how you can adapt things, you know, same with our kind of mindsets and what, you know, and it's just so wonderful to make those changes to make such a difference. I just love that story. I love it. That's just brilliant. Babette, so that's a perfect example. That was going to lead on to my other question, is what a difference it can make. And you kind of already answered that, actually, what a difference it can make to people. So already she'd seen that changes. It needed someone with a fresh outlook. And I love also the idea of what you're saying is bringing interior design to probably a bit more mainstream, a bit more accessible, and it doesn't need to be quite as, it can be from all scales, but I think it makes it a bit more accessible, is what you're talking about. So two more questions. No, one more question, Babette, because you covered off so many in that brilliant stories. As a founder, could you just share some tips and suggestions there's a lot of people in the community, the Beyond School community, similar to you. I think your story will resonate with so many, that they had a job, certainly resonates with me. They had a job, then had a first child. It became very challenging to do both. Took time to really focus on having a second, and then focusing on their children, and then re-emerging to develop their careers alongside children with this greater wisdom and understanding. And there's a lot and lots of different sectors, and this is where Beyond the School comes in, and really championing this kind of community of people that I think so incredibly valuable to society. Any tips or suggestions or learnings or anything like that you'd like to share with the community today, Babette?
I would love to. It has to be said, I think also I work a lot with myself. I do the podcast listening, from mindfulness to yoga so I've read a lot about myself. And I think I would love to bring that on into the whole aspect of, it's not just about the family, it's about bringing everyone is an individual, and it should also reflect in your house. And for me, it's important to be able to pull back and retreat. And what I would probably say, especially to other moms, is the key thing, and I have to tell myself all the time, or I've been told by my sister, who always tells me and reminds me, and now I've taken it on, I think we need to stop being so hard on ourselves. Really do, and really see how much we give back to our families, to the community. But very often you don't forget whatever you've done before, and there's a lot of professional, really high skilled women, or any skilled women said, don't forget your skill set. You can always contribute one way or the other. Yeah. And it's like I told you before this story, I need to step up and really use my community. And if I just add that little story I told you before about, so I was a bit worried about this whole Instagram live situation, thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I don't even know, I thought I was quite, I knew what to wear. I like fashion, like you do, Louise. But, there's a moment of thinking, whoa. I kind of know how to dress to go, to dinner and stuff, but I've never done Instagram. What do I do? So I literally picked up the phone up, sent an email to a gorgeous mom I always admire. She's the most amazing, most stylish woman every time on the watch. It's one of those moms who think, oh God, yeah. But it turns out she used to be a successful model. She's really beautiful. She's really loving, caring. And so I give her, and she's a really, really well-known stylist. And she really knows what she's talking about. She must basically send an email. Can I give you a call? Can I talk to you? And she said, yes, what is it? So I'm doing this Instagram live. What do I do? And she said, okay, the main thing I need to say, I think this is the gist, really, what she was trying to say. Be yourself. Be natural. Wear something you were comfortable with. And I immediately knew this is the top I'm going to wear. So it's not this one. Tomorrow I'm going to wear another one. Keep the background fairly simple, but give a glimpse of what you're about. And it was so positive, and she was so sweet and so supportive. I'm thinking, gosh, that was so easy. What's the worst that can happen?
And also, when you're feeling,
I don't have the time, right?
I love that, and also women love support. My battery is running low here, Babette. So if it goes, I'm going to record so we can keep it, and I'm going to call you on Instagram as well. But I love that, women supporting women. We love, that's what we're all about.
Yes, totally. And you will be surprised. I think what I've learned is there's hardly anybody, I don't think ever anybody said no, unless they said, I'm traveling, I'm so busy, I would love to help you, but right now is better. Fair enough, we all have other things on our
But like you say, it's just to ask. Tap into your community, the school-run community is brilliant, or just to ask. That's a brilliant thing. Babette, before my computer goes, I'm going to stop the record. Thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom with the community. If anyone wants to find out about Babette's services, if you're outside London as well, she now has a virtual online service, which is absolutely brilliant idea. You can go to BabetteBischoffLondon.com, isn't it, Babette?
No, it's BabetteBischoff.com.
BabetteBischoff.com. I'll leave all the information below as well for anyone who wants to find it. And Babette and I are going to do an Instagram live on Thursday, tomorrow, this week, so you can join us at 12:30. Babette, you're born to be on the screen. You're beyond. Look, your face is through. Thank you. And I'm going to
loved it.
Instagram, and I'm going to stop the record, so I've saved it. See you soon. Thanks for everyone for joining us.
Are you going to call me back?
I'm going to call you back.